All right, Shalom. The brothers from Indianapolis camp. I'd like to start off by saying all praise and glory and honor be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwap that are listening and being obedient to the will of the Lord. A hearty shalom to you other laborers and believers that are scattered throughout the face of the earth. Even if you're among the heathen and even look like the heathen, who be the speckled bird Israelites, which are Israelite foreigners, right, to the household of faith, which is the elect, I want to say shalom to you.
Shalom.
With the brother Barah. And I got a quick video I want to jump right into, because one thing that the Lord is doing with these women is these women are starting to realize that shit is in the fan. And a lot of you women that despise men because of what the serpent beguiled you with, which is feminism, and now you're starting to realize and see that it was all a deception. It was all a tool, or you were the tool being used to destroy your own family, all right, and your own relationships that you've had with several men, because you had several opportunities, most of you women, So, I'm gonna bring out this video clip, and Lord willing, it's edifying. You have precept you want to read?
Yeah, come. It's the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 11. It says, "Whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbled himself shall be exalted." So just haven't even looked at and listened to the video just yet, but just based off what the brother's going in is speaking on, just through the spirit, we're in a time in which we're living among a lawless individual, Esau Edom, so-called white man, and his vibration, as the Lord has told us, that he is the most proud. And so we're in a time as the officers, as the leaders are, so are the officers, and so are the people. And so we're going to see, from the top elites all the way down to, the common man that's here in Babylon, and of course scattered throughout, the whole entire earth. You're going to see a lot of proud people. But here in America, in the Americas, this is where the Lord himself is going to completely decimate, the mindset, of these people who thought that they were once something, and he's going to show them that they're nothing but men.
I'm going to read this too, since you brought that out. All right. So, but good, it's 2nd Esdras 8 and verse 50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." And the brother mentioned, the man of pride is ruling still. And he taught the people that's under him, the way of pride, which pride is hateful before the Most High man. So, and what the scriptures say, that pride go before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And that's what we're witnessing right now, and that includes you Western women, you Israelite women, and even you heathen women that have been sold this westernized feminism agenda madness. So let's play the clip though, and show you what's going on, man, because we're in Valentine's Day weekend, and a lot of these women ain't expect to feel like this, but now it's here. You see how lonely and manless they are? It's setting in now, okay? Because you're only, as far as you women, you only basically you only complimented, all right, by society if you have a husband and children, what I'm saying, and inside of a well-organized family, as far as how we view things. If you're not in that order of being a wife to a husband and having children and being raised right, then you pretty much are a waste of a woman, because that's your purpose. All right, to serve a man and to help rearing children, man, bring forth the fruit. All right, of or seed of a man. So now that you've been separated from your purpose, now you're just destroyed out here, man. Okay? And now it's starting to hit the fan, man. Nobody wants you no more, especially so-called black women, the women of Judah. It starts with you. And now it's trickling down to the rest of the tribes, man. All right? And we don't need you Israelite women. That's one thing you don't understand. But the Lord is showing you that, okay? So let's play the clip. I'm kind of rambling. Let's play the clip.
You know, when you hear their plans with their significant other or whatever, you're like, wow, that's so nice.
All right, guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
Not gonna lie, I am a teensy-weensy bit, like, sad I don't have any Valentine's Day plans. As much as I, you know, be like, oh, it's just one day and blah, blah, blah. It does kind of suck, you know. And, like, of course you love to celebrate other people when they post, and, you know, when you hear their plans with their significant other or whatever, you're like, wow, that's so nice. I wish I had that, but I don't.
Yeah, and that's a lot of you women in the society, man. You don't have that, you know, because you're more likely to torn down your own house, man. All right, let me. You got a precept you hold on?
No, go ahead.
I want to grab this real quick. The book of Proverbs 14:1, it says, every wise woman builded her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. And many of you women have done this. You know, you destroyed your own household, man. Matter of fact, let's read the NLT. It says, a wise woman builds her home. How she build? By doing what her husband asked her to do. You know, preparing the dinners, making sure the kids are basically obeying and being obedient, being raised to learn how to speak, taught manners, you know, things like that. You've got daughters, teach them how to be, you know, good wives. You know, you got sons. You know what I'm saying? You raise your son so far that you got to go under the wing of his father. But the whole thing about being a mother is a beautiful thing. But see, in this society, Esau, the devil he is, he caused you women to be separated from what being a mother and a wife truly is about. A lot of women don't even want to fucking have kids and be married to a man. And I'm not saying be married in the way of Esau's, you know, legality shit. I'm talking about just being joined to a man in general. You know? It says, a wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. Yeah. Because why? You're like a wild beast in your own home. And the scripture say, what? I would rather dwell with a dragon than to keep house with a contentious woman.
Mm-hmm.
So you women out there destroy your own homes, man. That's the reason why you're lonely. And then you're okay with being a side chick, but then being another wife, you against it. You know? Because you don't like to share to that extension, you know? Or that degree. But it's going to come to the point where you don't have to share, man. Isaiah 4:1 says, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Meaning what? The word, or number 7 goes into completion. See, when all hell breaks loose and your life is on the line, what are you going to do as far as survival out here? You know? Because a man is built for survival. A man is built to protect and to fight, you know, in these different wars.
Yeah, precept.
Bring it out.
Yep, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Yeah, subjection meaning authority. Under rule over, okay? Under rule. Well, Genesis, the Lord told Eve that what?
Her desire.
Her desire should be to her husband. He shall rule over thee. A lot of you women out there, oh, you ain't my dad, you ain't my father. Listen, motherfucker, I'm higher than your father. I'm your husband.
When you look in Exodus, the chapter, I think, 19, or it goes into the commandments, it tells you that, she is a possession. When it goes into thy wives, thy cattle, and all thy house. When it goes into covet not those things of another man. And when you look at what another man owned, it talks about his house, wives, manservant, maid servants, and the wives fall into being a possession unto that man.
Yeah, it says in Sirach, he that give the wife,
Get the
possession, help unto himself.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrase. So you women are made to be our possession, our property. Right? I know that hurts your soul to hear that, but you women were made to be a man's property. You can call me a misogynist, I don't care. That's the truth. You got to...
Yep, it says, subject to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. So the conduct. So it must have a certain spirit, as a woman, that would actually want for your man to want to take care of you and protect you and provide for you. This system, they talk about, you have guys now are like, well, what does a woman bring to the table? And the scriptures talk about, all a woman needs to do is, have discretion and have a meek and quiet spirit. That's a start of a long, it takes, a relationship a long way, to be, and you see the women in today's time is like, they want to receive, and this is just the spirit of Esau in general. They want to get as much out of you that they can with the least resistance. Them having to do little to nothing for you, And men are at a time where it's like it's more than just because you can lay down with the woman, Just because because you can get sex from anywhere.
You can buy it. You can buy a box.
It says, verse 2, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. So now, because you tend to be women tend to be most rebellious, and now you're looking at how this woman is. So the question is like, why don't you have a man? Why isn't the man? Why are you in a position where you're longing to have a certain type of relationship? This is way beyond, Valentine's Day, but just a man in general from day to day.
Read verse 3.
Verse 3. He says, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair, plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Yeah, meaning what? Don't be concerned with the beautiful hairstyles, different jewelry, and then nice, looking clothes to attract other men's attention. Because that's what women like to do. Like Israelite women dress a certain way in ancient times to let you know that they were married or virgin, however it may be, man. But one thing they wasn't was uncovered and wearing their clothes. They was wearing the clothes they wearing today. The Israelite women of the ancient world was, if
you can't tell the difference between harlot today. You can't tell the difference, between. So it's like
harlot and the wife.
Yeah, harlot and the wife, because they're all dressing alike. They all wearing them. They call them umbrellas.
Yeah, them lashes. Fake ass lashes.
Lashes. A lot of them are getting BBLs. Breast implants, and like I said, it's all about the outward appearance. But but of course, going to verse 4, it says, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, right? Which is dealing with the mind, and being able to be governed, to be led. They say you want a leader, but then you want to tell them how to lead you, right? That's not how it works. It says, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornaments of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High of a great price. And that goes into what I was saying earlier. Just having that meek and quiet spirit, humble, submissive. Let's see, Esau has made the word submissive to be a bad thing, but that's the best place for a woman.
Yep. And what you just talking about goes to the inner beauty of a woman. Because if she have a good spirit on her, she's serving, she's submissive. That's that inner beauty. Like, the inner beauty is everything about a woman. Like, I mean, out appearance, she's pretty outside, that's good, that's cool. I mean, a man like pretty women. But the inner, like, I'd rather have a beautiful inner woman of a woman versus a pretty outward appearance of a woman, and she have a shitty spirit. She's fucking uncooperative. She's not submissive. Always bucking up, right? I'll take an average woman or below average woman that has those qualities about her, but she may have other things. She's like a nice body. She's into health.
Yeah.
But she's not the prettiest. But her inner self is glowing.
Which is like he said, like the Lord said, which is in the sight of the Most High of a great price.
Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26. And verse 13, I'll start at 13. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. See? The grace of a wife, right? A silent and a loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Well instructed, right?
Because you want to speak on that?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, because a woman, she has to be raised up in instructions of how to be a woman. So when she do be given off to a man, which of course a lot of that don't go on in society. They push that whoredom shit first, then get a husband. But how it's supposed to be set up, where she's raised with manners, know how to cook, clean, know how to serve a man. Then when you get with her, it's a easily meshing of a union between him and her. Because now she can easily be incorporated in his life, and then he can instruct her on what he need her to do in the confounds of their marriage, all right, and their household. See what I'm saying? And that's something that's discarded in the society, man. Oh, you ain't his slave, girl. You ain't gotta do that. But the women that say that, guess what? They don't have a man. They lonely as fuck. And they want you to be lonely too. That's why the saying is misery love company.
Or that crabs in the bucket.
See, a woman's pride is she rather be independent, and that independence shit is gone now. Man, there's so many women on the internet crying about this independent shit, how they was basically deceived. Well, now it's too late though. Okay? Verse 15, a shamefaced and a faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. See? Being shamefaced, having some humility about yourself as a woman. Being humble, bro. Having humility and being humble is a big thing. Because, people can see that. Oh, man, she's nice, man. Men be like, they be impressed. When men see your woman in order, they be impressed. Like, man, how you get her like that? Because that's the thing that's said now, but In ancient times, you didn't have to worry about that. Your woman was in order. And she wasn't in order, everybody look at you like, what the hell going on? Because dishonoring your father and husband, is a real thing, man. But women don't have that shame no more. They don't have the shamefacedness. Women don't have the reverence for, dishonoring their husbands in this society. And that's a huge deal, man. But all that's going to return and come back because a lot of you women that's going to be the ones that fall on this side, in the kingdom, you're going to be in your right mind. You're going to be loving to serve a man. And you're going to be all right during the kingdom because we're going to be in the kingdom. You're going to be laid up because we're royal people. We're going to have servants. But watch, Israelite women they're going to want to serve, watch. You got to tell them, no, lay back, baby. We got these Moabites and Ammonites and Edomites and Israelites serving us, shit.
I have some.
Bring it out.
Let me get the full chapter real quick.
Mm-hmm.
My phone here. This is I'll just start here until it pops up. But Titus, chapter 2, verse. Oh, there it is. Verse 3. It says. Well, actually, I'll just start at the top. It says, verse 1. It says, "But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine."
Which is teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Sound is well put, foundation, and doctrine means teaching.
"That the aged man be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may..."
Yeah, because you're not supposed to teach these women are evil, man.
Mm-hmm.
They'll teach their daughters and nieces and shit, cousins. Girl, I'll leave him. Yeah, you don't need to be. You can find you somebody better than him. Gonna treat you better than him, man. That shit is not. Go ahead.
I had a couple videos where I come across where it was aged women who actually was complete opposite of this. She was saying that you needed to try as many men until you figured out what you liked. Okay, in short.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is completely opposite of the scripture. It was very bad advice because there's a thing where they talk about pair bonding. The more a woman lays with different men, the harder it is for her to bond when she finally thinks that she's going to settle down.
Yep.
And then of course she ends up having all these other spirits, on her just by messing around with these different men. But it says in verse 3, it says that the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior of becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given of much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the younger woman to be sober, to love her husbands, Salakia, to love their children, to be discreet.
Yeah, because right now, what's that? Lamentations apply. Lamentations 3, I think that is.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter of my people have become cruel.
Mm-hmm.
They become like the ostriches of the desert. If the paraphrasing. Because our women, beginning with the Judite woman, the so-called black woman, the nigger woman, on down to the rest of you Latin nigger women, and you native nigger women too, because all y'all nigger women, you know what I mean? I look at you all like that. Y'all are fucking order, man. All right, but the point is, you're not good mothers, really, man. Some of you are, and the ones that you are, hey, kudos to you. But most of y'all are not good mothers, man. All right, I'll say over half, and I'll say the majority of you not good mothers, man. Cause you think taking your kids away from their father is a good thing. You fucking them kids up. Then you teach them against their father like he's the bad guy. When really you're the fucked up one.
All right, where it tells us it should be lovers of their husbands. You should be teaching, especially if you have daughters. It says discreet, chaste, keepers at home. And the scriptures talk about not giving a woman liberty to gad abroad. But a woman has to be able to listen, you know, and take heed to when her husband's saying it's too late, stay home, you know. It says good, especially, and not just any man, an Israelite man, a man that's of the Lord, that's in this truth. Because in these times, we know that we're coming to a time where, again, the man of the Lord is going to be as the fine gold of Ophir. It's going to be something precious, right? So if you have a man of the Lord, you know, you want to do right by him, you know, and if you're not, you want to repent and change those ways before the Lord start to rain down those judgments.
Right, because the men of the Lord, well, it says, you know, the scripture you quote, Isaiah 13, that man going to be a man of the Lord, because the men of the Lord are going through the furnace of adversity to try us, to prove us, right? And I say that because in Sirach 25, I think it says there's no one above him that feared the Lord. That's a man or a servant of the Lord, man. So we're the top. We're the cream of the crop. You know, and I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just telling you the truth. The Lord dealing with us, man. You got it.
Yep, and again, we're in this world. We go to the grocery store. Where again, we hopeful that we're those men. But we go to the grocery stores. We pick. You know, men got children. They got family. They pick up their children. They do the things that are common to most men. The only difference is that they have this knowledge, and the Lord is going to make it known who is His chosen. And so, you know, realizing that you actually, you know, by investing, you know, and changing your ways for your man, especially if he's a man of the Lord, that you've actually have, you know, the Lord have blessed you. You know, it's like coming across, like hitting the lotto, is what would you say, you know? But it finished this off. It says chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. All right. So again, it's like your actions, you know, is also a teacher. You know, how you move, how you treat your husband, how and for other ladies and other women to actually see you and how you move. You know, an example has to be start by somewhere, by someone. You know, and of course, those who are the first pioneers, so to speak, you know, the ones who are walking that road, you know, it's not going to be easy, you know, because you're going to have those that, like you said, scoff and make you feel bad for doing good. Shame you. But we're in the last, you know, those last days where he said perilous times shall come, where people will be lovers of themselves and lovers of the Most High. And then I think it was one of like those that are good. You know, so they're gonna speak evil against those who are doing good. You know, so you being good by your husband, which is a precious sight in the sight of the Lord, is a price. Then of course, when people speak against that, you know that's part of your trial.
Yeah, it's haters of the Most High.
Yeah, haters of the Most High.
Yeah. Meaning what? You're gonna be against? You're gonna be destroyed. Like, bro, like. These women don't get this shit together, gonna be destroyed out here because a lot of you women have talked shit against the very men you're gonna need in that day, man. All right, and the thing is, if you don't have that covering, you're gonna be over.
She's speaking on one particular day, but we're about to come into some times where, you know, like women aren't gonna be able to find a man, you know, for protection.
Yeah.
You know.
Because every day you're going to be trouble around you, evil around you, danger.
We have a couple more scriptures. I got one more in mind. You go ahead.
Isaiah 32:2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Meaning what? A man going to be that protection and comfort for you women, all right, in the days to come that we're entering into now. The time of Jacob's trouble, because we were made to protect and provide for you. See, women ain't good at protecting, and they can, you know, barely provide for themselves. You know, but when all hell breaks loose, when the police are called, nobody to help you, you ain't got men in the Lord that can keep you safe from harm's way in that day, you're going to be in a bad case. Because the scripture saying, Micah 7:10, she that is my enemy shall see it. Shame shall cover her. That said, where's the promise? Where's the promise of his coming? It says, my eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the street. Roughly paraphrasing, hey, that's gonna come to pass. Micah 7:10 for a lot of you women, yo. Like, it's just the truth.
Yeah, let's end on this here.
Come.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4, and we'll finish. Go read it down to 6. It says, and the Lord said, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is the people before it's a place, the children of Israel, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And of course, that mark goes into the Wa, which is a mark of exemption, right? So the ones that are on the highways, the byways, sincerely, starting with the head apostles, who we believe of GMS, and those that teach the likewise doctrine, will have that mark of exemption, okay? That protection from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who are actually speaking of all the evils and things in which we're speaking of today. It says, verse 5, and says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, and let not your eye spare, neither have pity. So there's going to be some that are going to be protected, and others that's going to actually receive the destructions that are come. And just to name a few, you have the famine, because the Lord said that my servants shall eat, but they shall be hungry. You also have the sword, right, which is any manner of killing instrument. You have Esau Edom, who's coming down with great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. We also talk about that that fire, that multitude that's kindled over the people. You know, Esau Edom, of course, is coming down and bringing forth mass destruction.
Yeah, great wrath.
Like great wrath. But he says, and there's going to be no pity. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. And when you look at maids, little children, and women, you know, they're all are going to deal.
Yeah.
You know, that's a majority women, you know, in that. He says, but come not near any man who upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient time. So of course that which is then is now. And of course, you know, he's going to start with the children of Israel, and the ones that's going to have that mark of exemption, those are going to be made known who the Lord is dealing with. And that's when everybody then is going to want to flock and seek protection, you know, and for many it's going to be too late.
Yeah, Isaiah 4:1. Because we at that door, you know, so, you know, hey, if you're not one of them 7 women, you're going to be out here in bad case. So, hey, with that, we're going to close. Hey, Lord willing, this video have been edifying to the flock. Again, we're going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Hey, again, double honors to the apostles and the elders, bishops of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work of truth and sincerity again. Again, shalom to you few sisters that believe and are being obedient. All right, till next time, I want to bid you a shalom.
Shalom.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
And Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Shalom.
Shalom.